Tax advantage retirement account. This was another one of those things I wish someone would have told me earlier in life, right? Um, so many people don't realize you can invest in real estate via your retirement account. Not only can this grow your retirement account much faster than, say, mutual funds, it can do so at a huge tax benefit. The secret here is you need a self-directed account, okay? So these can be established. You can go set up a self-directed account right now. Or if you have a retirement account already that you own, okay, not one that your employer owns, but one that you own, perhaps from an employer that you used to work for, but you don't work for them anymore, then you own that plan now. You can roll that over into one of these self-directed accounts. So super powerful. So you can do it via IRAs. That's the most common one that people are very familiar with. So now instead of just investing in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, you can invest in a lot of other things. Real estate is one of the things you can invest in. But if you want to go buy gold bars, you can go buy gold bars. There are some exclusions, but there are just a ton of things that you can invest in here if you want to. There are some limitations, like you can't invest with your direct relatives. You know, you can't rent your house to your kids, for example, that kind of stuff. So there are exclusions of rules that need to be followed, but it is very powerful. If you have a business and you are the sole person working in that business, or you and your spouse are the sole people working there, you can have a solo 401k. And this does the same thing. You can self-direct into whatever you want to. And then you also have a much higher amount that you can put in every year. You can put in $69,000 a year, and after age 50, it's $76,500. And there are also loan provisions in here. So this is super powerful. When you do that, you have to think about if you want to do this through a traditional account or through a Roth account. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between these two either. So a traditional one is tax deferred growth and a Roth is tax-free growth. So how does that work? So a traditional is based on you being in a lower tax bracket when you get older. That's what they tell you. So if you plan to make less money in the future than you do now, then that's the idea, right? So if you're doing this through an employer, for example, they will pull money out of your paycheck and put it into this IRA before they pull out taxes. So might be a bigger chunk that can go in there, right? Because you don't have to pay the taxes, which sounds good. But if that account does really well, if you grow it really well, so in real estate, we're looking to double your money every 4 to 6 years. If you're doing that, when it's time to retire, you may have a very big IRA, which is great, but now you got to pay the taxes on all of that, right? Versus if you do the Roth path, you pay the taxes up front. So that kind of stinks. I got to pay them now, and a little less money goes into that account. But all the growth in there is tax-free. So if I put in $500,000 through the course of my years and it turns into $10 million, I don't get taxed on that $10 million. So that is the power of doing a Roth. Now you might say, well, dang, that would have been great information 20 years ago when I set this up, because that's what I said. It's too late. Well, it's not too late. You can actually roll a traditional into a Roth. You can't do it in reverse, at least not that I know of. Talk to your CPA. I'm not one. But you can roll it over, but there will be a taxable event when you do this. So you got to be strategic about that. So when we have a low tax year for us, maybe the business didn't do so well, or we just had a lot of depreciation, we wrote off a lot of taxes, and we're in the lowest tax bracket or one of the lower tax brackets, that's when we talk to our CPA and we say, how much can we roll over to Roth this year without having taxes hit us? Like, how much can we write off, or how much can we do and not end up shifting tax brackets or whatever? And so we will strategically roll more and more over to the Roth with time. And you can even roll it over if it's already been invested in something. So it gets a little tricky. Again, you got to talk to your self-directed account rep who can give you details on that, as well as your CPA, but you can do that. So I really like that. Now, of course, things to consider is how long till you retire. If you're already in that range, maybe you don't want to be messing with it right now. Or if you have a long time to go, maybe this is the time to do it. So lots of things to consider there.